All right, so first, dude, I have to ask the first thing I want to know, because I actually asked Daring Lime the same exact thing, is when did you get into Marvel Champions? Because I want to know like when people got into the game, because I feel like we have a lot of people that are like super early or super later, and I want to see at the very end of like talking to everyone the like different perspectives and how people perceive things, you know?
Yeah, for sure. We already started?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, cool. So I started last year in the summer, I think July. Sorry, give me one moment. I have a new auto device detected. It's probably my phone, so I'm not gonna switch. Um, yeah, so I think July 2023. And then
Okay.
basically, we're coming, so me and my wife like recently got married. And then
Congratulations.
thank you. Yeah, it was great. And then we like met up with a lot of friends that came over to like, see us and stuff. And we played a lot of board games around that time with our friends. And I don't know, Marvel Splendor.
Yes, yes, I do.
So it's like my favorite game. It was super fun. Yeah, and I would like, so I'm like a little bit obsessive. So I would like when I would like go to bed, I'll be thinking about strategies for Marvel Splendor of like how to like beat everybody the next day. So I was just like, like we really enjoyed the game. And then basically my wife got to a point where she didn't like playing with me anymore because I like kept winning. And I don't think it's that like she's bad. I think she just doesn't care enough to
Mhm.
like, think about strategy and stuff like that. Yeah, and then one of my friends was telling me that he played this game called Marvel Champions. And it's like it's a co-op game. And I was like, oh snap, co-op because all the games I play with my wife isn't like playing anymore because like, someone wins all the time. So I was like, co-op, we can play together. We both win or we both lose. That's gonna be so much fun. So then I immediately, well, actually, I got the game for another friend for his birthday. And then I just like waited till it was like really cheap, like on
Yeah.
sale, like on eBay or something like that. And then I got it for myself. And then I started playing. My wife does not like it that much though, actually.
Oh no.
But it was supposed to be like something that we could do, like, yeah, something fun for us to do. Yeah, and I guess that was the big reason why I got it.
Mm.
And it turned to something else, turned into something crazy. So.
That's awesome. But so, one of the things I've always admired about your channel is how much like you think about every single card, you think about every little thing. Are you like that with pretty much every game then? Like if you're talking about doing that with Splendor, like I feel like there's some depth to Splendor, but maybe not crazy amounts, or maybe I'm terrible at Splendor and that's why. But like have you always been like that, like super analytical about everything?
Um, I don't I so, like, I just want to so I don't care about winning in terms of, like, it's okay if I lose,
Mm.
but I always wanna, like, go all out, if that
Yeah.
makes sense, right? So, like, I never ever let anyone win, so I never let my wife win, I guess. So whenever she beats me, it's very deserved. I'm like, "You did so good, like, that was so good." Because yeah, I think it's funner if I play, like, to my maximum, like, max effort.
Mhm.
And, yeah, I just so if I don't see it, then I won't think about it, I guess. But then if I like see like specific lines, something like that, I'll be like, okay, I need to do this because this will ensure that I win, or like this would be the best thing for me to win. And it's fun losing too, not as fun as winning. But yeah, I mean it's yeah. So I do like to whatever I see and learn. So like Marvel Champions specifically, whenever I first started playing, and I have like videos like way back then. Like I don't think I saw like any of the stuff like the analytical stuff, but I was to what I thought was doing like the best that I could. But there's like so many things that I was missing. Like I think my first few playthroughs on YouTube, I did not know that you put just standard one and expert one sets. So it
Mm.
would be like, Spider-Man versus Rhino, and there's no expert one or standard one. So he never advanced. So I was like, I'm so good. Like
This is
I don't know.
easy.
Yeah, yeah, he never advances. So yeah, yeah. So if I know it, then I'll definitely like think about it. But if I don't, then I'll just miss it, and it's okay.
That's awesome, dude. And don't worry, my wife is the same exact way. We're like, if I beat her too much at a game, she's like, we're not playing this. This is not enjoyable.
Yeah, yeah. That's part of the reason I love watching y'all's streams because it's funny, like y'all's like interaction and stuff. And I feel like your wife, maybe this is sexist, I don't know, is like similar to my wife maybe. So like you guys have like similar reactions sometimes. Yeah, so it's fun seeing that. And then whenever you like point stuff out, sometimes she might not like it. And I know my wife also does not like it when I point anything out. I'm like, it's a co-op game. Like, I want you to tell me stuff and I'll tell you stuff. Like it's a co-op game.
Yeah, well, and the way I've always looked at it too is like I have spent so much time doing this like wrong that I just want to give you like a head start, right? I don't want you to fail where I failed. I want to like just help you skip past that. And I get it from the other perspective too. Like, no, I need to fail to learn, and I respect that. But at the same exact time, it's like it's painful sometimes where I'm just like, I can help you really easily because this is really like bad, like a dumb thing to mess up on, and I get it because I used to do that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, like it's what I want done for me. So like
Mhm.
I want to do that for you. Yeah, it's just yeah.
That's exactly it. Like I have buddies, where they'll play a board game with me or whatever, and they're like, "Do you want me to help you with the strategy?" I was like, "Yeah," because I don't want to like just like go through all this learning for no reason. Like time is short, man. If we're gonna play a 3 hour game, like I want to, skip ahead a few levels or something.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, this is a little bit off topic. I don't know if you're okay talking about
You could
this.
talk about whatever. Yeah.
So recently, like the past month or so, me and my wife started playing this game on the Switch called It Takes Two. I don't know
Mm,
if you heard of that.
I have. Yeah.
Okay, that is like our favorite game to like this is like the game that we found that I wanted Marvel Champs to be. And I was telling her, this is what I wanted Marvel Champs to be. And she's like, yeah, I'm sorry it never turned out that way. But yeah, It Takes Two, like she loves it and I love it. And like it's so much fun being able to play and like be like me and her are both like all in on it. And then we're like thinking about what to do like the best way. And like we're both like very engaged and it's just a very fun activity for us to do as as a couple. Yeah, that's
How does it work exactly? What it takes to, just in case people don't know how the
so
game
It
works.
Takes Two, it's on the Switch. I think it's on other platforms as well. And basically, you control. So I just spoiled the premise a little bit, like just the beginning of the game. I think it's like a part of the plot. But basically, it's about a married couple. I think his name is Cody and May. And basically, they have a daughter, and they're getting divorced.
Mm,
And then the whole point of the game is that you have to work together and kind of solve puzzles together and get through the game and try to save the like Cody and May from getting a divorce, basically. And there's a lot of like little puzzles. I don't know if you play like it's like Final Fantasy 7, like the original game where like
okay.
there's a number of puzzles. It's like Mega Man like Battle Network. I don't know if you played that like back in the day, but
Not that one.
yeah, just a lot of like little like mini games and puzzles where like it would be like a chair and it's like how do I move this chair in like a way that I can like step on it and then like she can like maybe climb on top of that and like get to like the window or something like that. It's just like a lot of like puzzles and stuff. And then our characters have different abilities. So like there'll be stuff that I don't see. And my wife's like, we should do this. Like you move over there, I move over here, and then we do this. I'm like, oh, that's such a good idea. Good job. And then
Mhm.
like it's just really fun. Think about that.
There's another game. I think it's on Steam, and it might be on Switch too. It's called Plate Up. No, that's not the one I'm thinking of. There's another cooking one that's like Plate Up, and you basically have to. People are gonna yell at me about this because I shouldn't. Overcooked. It's Overcooked. That's what it is.
Okay,
And
yeah, I've heard that one. Yeah.
so if you want to test your marriage, play Overcooked because it gets like you're stuck on two sides of a kitchen and like you need to work together, but you can't physically do the other person's job half the time. So like you're in your head at your own pace trying to do something and they are in their own head at their pace doing something, and there's a lot of communication that needs to take place, and it's hilarious. Like if you can go into like enjoying that, like you're probably gonna mess up a lot, it's not so bad, but it's a fun like couples game. But you read like horror stories online, they're like, I can't talk to my spouse anymore. It's like, well, you might take that a little too seriously.
Yeah, I've heard about it. I do not want to test my marriage. We've only been married a year, man, so I don't think I'm ready for all that. Yeah, yeah.
Give it a couple more years. You'll get there. You'll get there for
Yeah, yeah,
sure.
yeah. Once that we have kids or something and we're like secured, then I'd be like,
Yeah, there
okay,
you
let's
go.
yeah,
Get a sign up for a really long mortgage, and this way we just can't get out of it for 30 years, so we're stuck. So,
mm, yeah.
now, so you mentioned Final Fantasy 7. Are you a Final Fantasy 7 guy?
I am that's like my favorite game all the time.
Dude, me too. I love that game. The OG
Nice.
especially.
Yeah, 7 specifically, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Yeah, I have not played Rebirth because I don't have a PS5.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
But Remake came out during COVID for me. Well, actually, it came out same for everybody. But yeah, yeah. So it came out during COVID, and I like binged like all the remake, and it was like a beautiful story. I just didn't like. I did feel like it was a little bit too streamlined than what I wanted because in original you could do so many different things. And you could go off like the correct path or whatever, like in a different way. So your game file would be like a lot different than mine. But I just feel like the newer game, I guess, but the graphics were crazy. I've
It's
never
beautiful.
so I literally bought a PS4 just to play the game. It was like a used one on eBay. So I have not seen any of the newer like graphics.
Uh,
And yeah, man, that game is so crazy. It's cool. Yeah, I watched your you have like another channel, I think,
yeah, for a little
where
while.
you should plug that channel right now as we're talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I might do it sometime soon. Because I would like to redo it, but I did remake. Oh god, I don't know if I ever finished remake. It was near the end I was getting, but my problem was like in the original game, Midgar was like I don't know 5-10 hours, whatever it was, and remake's like 30 some hours, and I haven't left Midgard. I'm just like, come on, bro. Like, there's not that much to do in this city. I'm ready to go explore, like, because I know there's a giant world out there, and I want to go see it. I want to go see
Yeah.
everything.
So you played remake not knowing where it would end.
No, I have no idea where it ends.
That's crazy. Do you want to know where it ends right now or no?
Yes, I do.
Okay. The moment you leave Midgard, the game is over.
Oh my god,
So
that's
the
so
whole entire
frustrating.
game is Midgard. So you're playing the game. That's so funny. It's really cool that you went to it blind because I love going to stuff blind. So
Mhm.
I think I would have liked to not know where it ended, but I think I must have read it somewhere. So even when I was playing the game, I already knew that this ends in Midgard. So the moment that we leave, that's the end of the game. So I wasn't expecting anything other than that. So I enjoyed like exploring more of Midgard. And like there's characters that I did not like from the original, like Jesse, Biggs, and Wedge. I didn't care for them.
Okay.
But then in the remake, they really flesh out the characters, and like I just love all of the characters. And then I'm gonna a lot of hate for this, but Tifa, I'm like not the biggest Tifa fan. I feel like
Ooh.
in the original, okay, oh maybe you also disagree. I feel like that she just liked Cloud because he was a soldier, man. Like she didn't care for the real Cloud.
I mean, she always wanted Cloud because what? It was like her personal bodyguard, right? That's what the thing was back in the day. But I mean, Aerith has the whole thing with Zack, and she's just pretending that he's Zack anyway. So then that becomes a whole. I don't know. Cloud is in a weird love thing here. Like Yuffie's the
Yeah,
real choice.
yeah. Funny. I think there was actually I don't want to spoil anything. I watched some stuff from Rebirth, but I'm not gonna say anything for that because actually haven't played it myself either.
Mm,
Um, so it's like a funny thing between Yuffie and Cloud. But I'm not gonna say anything about before. Okay. I want to defend Aerith really quick.
all right,
Okay,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
in the original game, she says that Zach was like a small, like one time thing. He didn't matter. He was like not a big deal. And I don't think that Zach meant to be this big of a character. I
Mm,
played Crisis Core and I love Zach, but I think a lot of this was retcon. Like I don't think that he was supposed to be this like in the original game, he died with like two Shinra soldiers that just shot him and he
yeah.
died. They changed it like he had like this epic like oh crap. For people that haven't played Final Fantasy, you should maybe put like a spoiler tag because I know one of my friends is playing it. He doesn't know that Zack dies, so
Oh.
I don't know. I don't. You can
It's
take that
fine.
out.
It's
Okay, all right,
fine. We'll
we'll
figure
spoil
it
everything
out.
for everyone. They're gonna hate us both. They'll be
I
like, "What
feel
the
I
hell? I'm
feel
all
like
Star
also
Wars."
the OG stuff has been out for 20 years now. Like you should have like a rough idea of the story. So
Okay. Yeah. So then and then Eris really like sought the real Cloud. Like she saw the facade of Zack on him, and then she would say multiple lines where she'd be like, "I want to know the real you. Like it feels like you're here, but you're not
mm,
here with me." Like all the stuff, and it really felt like she cared for the real Cloud, while Tifa wanted that, that thing. But then in the remake, man, there are some lines that are making me very upset. Like Eris would say things like, "If you think you're in love with me, like you're imagining it." I was like, "Oh no, what are they doing? Are they trying to put her with Zack now and have Cloud be with Tifa? Like what's going on?" Because in the original, that's not the way that I
yeah.
like saw the game. I guess, yeah,
No,
yeah,
no,
very
I do agree with you. Because Zach was kind of like this like bit of a thing in the OG, right? Like he wasn't like this major plot point. And you're right, Crisis Core really fleshes out like that. Him and Aerith are a lot deeper, and I think that's my holdup is just because I played through Crisis Core and everything else, and I know all of it. It's like it got retconned so deeply in my head. I'm like, no, it's not retcon. This was the original vision. They just didn't have enough time, or whatever I make up for myself. So I get it. And look, I when I was a kid, I was on Team Aerith, and then when I played Seven later on, I became more on Team Tifa. And I don't know if I finally landed on Team Tifa, but I will always be on Team Yuffie. So
I'm not sure. So the thing I want to say earlier, I'm not gonna say the whole thing, but
yeah.
I think Yuffie's like very underage or something like that. I think there's like it's breaking something. I think, but I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I'm just gonna again play with the OG where everyone's 18 in my head. They're all legal, so that we can all be chill. Like when I was underage, they were all underage, and then once I turned of age, they're all of age, and I'm just gonna run with that in my head.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, but I mean Zach Fair, like I love that character. Like I really like Crisis Core. I didn't like the gameplay of it, but the
Yeah.
story and like the music, it was amazing, and it really made you love Zach. So I totally I love Zach. I just wish that when he died, he died. Like
Yeah.
that's just
Just finish it.
it was a good death. Yeah, we don't need to. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening right now in the current game where with Zach,
Mm.
and yeah, I'm okay with him staying dead and being a legend.
There you go. I was watch so for while I'm doing work, a lot of times I have like Twitch or something up and I'm watching like a lot of Final Fantasy 7 speed runs. And I don't know if you pay attention to that scene, but it's very very weird what they do with that game because they break it in so many ways. And one of the ways now is that you can skip like most of the beginning and you skip the sequence in spoiler alert oh 07 or OG is when Aerith dies. You can
Oh my
skip
God, you
that
just
so
spoiled
she's
everything.
alive during it,
Oh,
so
yeah.
she's alive the rest of the game. So like they figured out how to do it, and like everyone's going crazy now. So
Okay, so this is you're gonna know how much of an Aerith fan I am. So I think in high school I played Final Fantasy 7 on an emulator on my like laptop,
mhm.
and then I did the thing to where Aerith lives. So
Nice.
I'm actually the player that did that. So because I was just so sad that she dies. So I did the thing, and then I played the rest of the game with Aerith in the main party because she's never died. Yeah, it's
That's
just
awesome.
kept her
She's
around.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sephiroth missed. Came right down, missed. Bad aim. I get it. Now, were you into the other Final Fantasy games as well, or did you kind of stop after that?
So, 7 is the only one that I like know, I guess, extensive lore on.
Mhm.
Uh, I played I played a couple, like a lot actually. I think I played 3 and 4 and 8, 9, and 10.
Okay.
And then a little bit of 12. Yeah, I played a lot of Final Fantasy. This is like my like favorite gaming franchise, I
Okay.
guess. Yeah, and then I played a little bit of 12, but I never finished it. I just didn't like 12 at all.
Oh,
But yeah, I think that so 10, I think, has one of the best stories. I really, really like 10.
it's good.
I just didn't like the characters for me. So like Final Fantasy 7 has like an amazing cast. Like you have Cloud, and then in the remake, I really love Tifa. Like I feel like her personality is different than OG game,
Mm,
and she's much more likable. Yeah, and then you have Barrett. You have Aerith. Like I feel like everyone is so lovable in Final Fantasy 7, and they're like I don't know, not just like weird people that are like doing weird, like they're like all unique in their own way. I don't know. Yeah. But for 10, I did like Auron as my favorite character. I'm
yeah, he's
very
good.
character driven when I play games, I guess. They had a flashback for Auron. I don't know if you remember that. Sorry, my laptop is like doing weird stuff. Okay, they had a flashback, and you find that Auron is like this weird, like rule stickler. And I'm like, dude, like this guy's such a loser. Like I liked him, he's my favorite character. I'm like, no, I don't like him anymore, dude. He's lame. Yeah, so that's I don't
I remember when 10 came out, myself and my two best friends, we each got a copy of 10 and we played through it. And, it took me, whatever, 40 some hours to beat it. My other buddy, it took him like 40, 50 hours because he likes to do everything. And the other friend had put in about 80 hours into it. And we're like, wow, that's a long time. Like, how did you like the ending? He's like, I have no idea. I'm stuck on Blitzball and I've been just playing Blitzball for every single day. And I was like, are you going to beat the game? He's like, no, I'm just going to play
that's hilarious.
Blitzball. And that was
That's
like
funny.
that's it. That's all he wanted to do was just more blitzball. And it was one of the better like main side things. I mean, I like chocobo racing in 7, but like that was pretty solid.
Yeah, yeah. No, so I suck at Blitzball. I could not
Mm.
do it. There was one of my replays on 10 where I tried to do the Blitzball thing, and then like I just could not get the number one spot. I was like, I can't do this, and then I just like had to move on. But Chocobo racing, I was obsessed. Do you get the golden Chocobo?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, okay. Come on, that was so fun. And you get
Yeah.
a gold chocobo? That's so cool. Yeah, I mean, I love how Final Fantasy has these like mini games that you can just stop and then
Mm.
spend like 10 hours like trying to beat this mini game and like trying to maximize it or whatever. That's really fun.
The
Have you played is it 16? I don't know. It's the newest one that came out. I've
16,
not played it, but I've
yeah.
heard about it.
I
Yeah,
haven't
that
played.
it story sounds really good for that. Yeah, I haven't played it either.
Yeah, the last one I played, let's see, I've done I guess last one was 15 that I played in numerical order. So I did do that one, which wasn't bad. People hated on that game. and I thought it was fine. Like it wasn't like amazing, but it was cool. It was like best friends, so like it was like cool to see like their stories and kind of get driven in that direction. So I like that. But the like the final, not the final boss, the final optional boss for 15 takes like a day to beat, like 24 hours to beat. And I was like, I don't have time for that.
Yeah, crazy.
And then,
Yeah,
well, I was gonna say in 8 and 9 they had card games. Did you ever play them?
oh yeah, the 8 card game, my favorite. Like that's yeah, I love that game. Where you like put like a thing on, and then like there's like numbers, and then like you can beat the numbers, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was I love that 8 card game. I don't remember the one in 9 at all though.
9 was somewhat similar, but it was just like there were arrows in the corners, I believe, and like you only had one number and you had to beat the corner, but like some of your corners were empty, so people can like basically like tag off of it, and then like it was like almost like was it not Othello? What kind of Othello? I don't know. It was kind of just a game that like cycled on itself, but 8 was better version of it for sure.
Yeah, I feel like you really like. I feel like you're the type of guy that loves like these mini games. So I'm shocked you didn't like spend as much time as your friends playing those.
I liked it, but at the same time, like you, I was very story driven. So the first time I play through any game is just like get me through the story because I want to know what happens, and then after that, it's like okay, then we can have fun and whatever. But some of the games like 13, I played through once and I was like, nah, I'm good. Like I don't really have to go back and do this. And then 13.2 and 13.3, I was like, okay, I'll do this one time and that's it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Do you think hot take? Do you think Final Fantasy VII is the best like fiction story?
Yeah.
People can't see, but you're nodding your head.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. It is for sure. It's not only the best Final Fantasy game, I think it's top 3 easily. You could argue top 1 easily of stories of all time. Like especially okay, so I also have this thing that you have to, in my opinion, rate things based on their time. Cuz the idea of spoiler, Aerith dying, like that did not really exist that much in like that time. Like nowadays, sure, main characters will die off and whatever, but like it didn't happen back then, and it was crazy for that time point. And the depth of story we never seen because obviously there was no system that could handle that until they came out with the PlayStation, where it's like, oh, you can have like 50 discs and just keep going, and make it look really cool.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I completely agree. Like that story, like I feel like it changed my life. And this is not talking about like Georgia Cerberus or like Crisis Core, like all the newer
Right.
ones, but like just that main one. That's like the best story I've ever seen. And it like beyond Air dying, like just having Shinra Electric Company be like this monopoly over the world, and they mine like Mako, like they mine like that's like innovative. Like I feel like that's like very realistic to like our real life of like what could have happened. This electric company has an army. Like that's crazy. Like yeah, and then they like just run the world. And I just love everything about the premise. I love that that was like the 70s type of view to it with like the theater and like the trains and stuff. Yeah, yeah, a really, really cool story.
Well, and like, I mean, how much of I'm an older millennial, so my generation, younger generations are like environmental driven, and like that's the whole point of the game. It's like they're fighting for the environment.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Barrett, well, he's kind of a liar. He says he is at least, but at some point they all came on board with that. Yeah.
yeah, exactly, exactly. So, are you still do you still play a lot of video games, or has it kind of slowed down with life getting in the way and whatever else?
Whoa, whoa, no, I love my wife, man. She's not in
No,
the way at
life,
all.
life, not your wife in
Oh,
life.
oh no, that's not good. Okay, oh man, you're gonna have to cut that out. No, yeah, I've not played a video game. Uh, Probably Eight Takes Two was the last one, but that's
Okay.
because we count it as like husband wife activity.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like it was a good yeah, but before that, probably Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Okay.
My only PlayStation 4 game. On my PlayStation 4. No, no, no. Oh wait, I forgot. Before Marvel Champs, I was hooked on a Pokemon phase. So I also bought a Switch Lite just to play Pokemon Violet because everyone was telling me
Nice.
how good it was. I don't think it was the ending was really good. I don't think the rest before that was good. I don't know if you played that game,
Mhm.
but yeah, I mean, yeah, so I guess that's the last game. And then Marvel Champions took the place of that. So I can really only just do one game nowadays and I just like go really hard into like one thing, I guess. Yeah.
Is that the same with board games right now? Like, is Marvel Champions like pretty much like all your time as far as board games, or do you play other board games as well?
So I know we've also played Lorcana.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, that's right.
they kind of go back and forth for me. So like back when Mario Games didn't have any releases for a while, I played a lot of Lorcana. I got really into that. And then now Magneto, he's coming out, so I'm back all on Marvel Champions again. And then yeah, so I originally introduced, so I want people to play with, right?
Hmm.
So I originally introduced Marvel Champions to I have like a Bible study group and we meet like every week. And then I brought Marvel Champions to them. I was like, after we like talk about the Bible, like can we play Marvel Champions? And they're like, yeah, sure. And then they all got like addicted and they bought like a bunch of Marvel Champions stuff. And then recently when I wanted to play Lorcana, I like brought some Lorcana stuff. I was like, can we do this? And then now like these guys have like spent so much money on Lorcana cards. And I feel bad, but it's fun because like so we just kind of go back and forth with like whatever the group wants to play. Yeah, so we're just kind of doing that.
So okay, so I'm also we have a Bible study. I never thought to get them into the game.
Oh
I
yeah, you gotta bring
saw.
it.
There's so much potential right there. Shoot. That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
I think I heard in one of your streams that you said that you are very godly.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So I, okay. So let me think about this. Let me think about the whole Christian route I had. So growing up, I was like nothing. Because my mom didn't have time. I was basically raised by a single mother, so she didn't really have time for religion or anything. Went to college, basically became an atheist out of college. And then my buddy, who was more religious, was like, "This is why you're wrong." And I would be like, "No, this is why you're wrong." And we'd argue back and forth and whatever. And he just like didn't give up. And he's like, just hear me out. And then gave me some books with C.S. Lewis and all that, whatever. And I was like kind of open to it, whatever. So I was like, okay, I'll give it an open mind. And the more and more like more or less research I did on things and to understand things, I was like, there's in my opinion, I know people will disagree, and that's totally cool. You can disagree. There's just more to this world than nothing, in my opinion. So yeah, so I started getting more and more into religion, studying more, and then eventually met Novels, who's also religious. Then we started going to church together, and then just builds community and builds upon itself. So yeah, it's the switch probably happened when I was like 22, 23. So and then was baptized when I was older because I never was as a kid, which, of course, my pastor had to make like tons of jokes about because he's just like, oh, you usually it's a
Nice.
little kid, like, D20, make sure you don't cry up here like a little baby.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
awesome. Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's a little bit similar to me. So my dad is Catholic, but
Mhm.
not really Catholic. Like he just, in name Catholic, and then my mom is Buddhist. So they
Oh,
always, yeah, growing up, they would tell me, your mom's wrong, your dad's wrong. So I'm just like nothing. I'm just like, I guess they're both wrong then, right? So yeah, I was not really an atheist because I think I always believed in like a higher being. I just never felt like that this could all happen without someone like starting it. So I always believed in something, but I was like, we're never gonna find out. Like, I'm just gonna die not knowing.
yeah.
And then also like around my early 20s, yeah, some stuff started happening. Like, basically, I was working like part time at a boba shop,
Mm.
and then this pastor came in one time. Shout out to Pastor Steve, and then he was like, "Tell me your story," and I was like, "What the heck?" And then like throughout college, like people have like I have like really close friends, and they like prayed for me and stuff like that, and I'm always just like, okay, and I have like one eye open, like, okay, like, are we done praying yet? Like, I don't want to be disrespectful, but at the same time, like, I'm not like, I didn't believe in it.
Mhm.
But then Pastor Steve, it's a super long story. Basically, I was also working at this school, like an after school program for little kids. And then me and two of my friends, we started this program, and then we did a lot of promotions like at the public libraries and stuff like that for our big summer camp, and we have like after school programs too. And then basically we wanted the summer camp to be successful, and we marketed a lot of different people. And I told him the pastor about this, and he says, and then we marketed all of our stuff, but then we had no kids sign up online. So I made like a
Mm.
website on Wix. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, sure.
It's just super duper easy. Like, yeah, yeah. And then people could sign up on there. But then we had no one sign up after like we already did all of our promotion stuff. Like it was like before summer. And then Pastor Steve, he like prayed for me, and I really wanted, the kids or whatever. And then that night, someone signed up, and I was like, holy cow. And then I'm not saying, it's God, no, it was God, but to the people that don't believe, maybe it wasn't. It was coincidence, right? And then next week he came back, And he asked me like what's going on, and I was like, someone signed up right whenever you prayed. It was a coincidence. And he was like, no, it's not. Let me pray again. And then we prayed again, and then that night, four more kids signed up, and we had like a full like stacked summer camp. And it was like one of the best experiences ever. But um, uh, but yeah, basically like that was kind of I didn't come to faith for like I think like 2 or 3 years after until after that because
Mm.
I just like put it as a coincidence. But then I really just thought about like, dude, like all these coincidences that have been happening in my life, like I'm a fool if I believe that it is just a coincidence and it's not something that's like meant to be, I guess, because it like it just sucks because I didn't give God credit for like
Sure.
he was cool like dude this dude's come to like pray for me and then like I'm like it's not God, it's a coincidence. And yeah, so I guess that's kind of how I came to faith, and I also got baptized like a few years ago, like not like like as a full grown adult.
Yeah.
And then yeah, it was a little bit weird. I was like, oh man, like I'm old, but yeah.
Yeah, it definitely makes you feel old when you're up there. And of course, like novels have been because she grew up in a Christian family in a church, so she always had that backbone. And it's something too, like the even the communal aspect for it is amazing. Like you have like a group of core friends or people you can trust on or whatever. Is amazing. And she always had that, and I was kind of jealous of that because like I still have my friends and whatever, but it's different. Like until you experience it, it's different. But no, your story is awesome. I mean, that's really really cool to hear. It's always cool to hear when people join in the faith, and it's interesting too because, like I said, with my approach, a lot of it was reading books. Like again, if anyone that wants to like even slightly dabble into it, I always say start with C.S. Lewis and start with Mere Christianity. I think it won't. Some people would be like, it'll turn me into a full believer. I don't know about that, but it will at least like kind of open your mind a little bit to like, if you're willing to be open minded slightly about it, understand like the slight perspective. Like, I always think that's like a good entry point into
No, it's I think I'm the opposite in you in that way
it.
because I hate reading. I'm like, and I know novels, a
Sure,
novel's got
sure.
the yeah, I just can't stand reading. And basically in our Bible study group, someone always reads for me. Like I don't read the thing. And then whenever I'm driving, I'll always put on like the Bible app and I'll just play like a passage and like it'll like read for me. Because
Mm,
I cannot, I just like when I read a thing, I just read the same line like 5 times. I'm like, I still it's not going in my head. It's just going through. So I just have like a problem, I guess, reading. So yeah. But I mean I can refer through like I guess other people having conversations and like I'll just ask them questions that I could probably just find out if I like read the Bible. But it's more engaging for me and I actually
yeah.
like I don't know, I feel a better understanding of it through talking it out with someone and
Mm,
then like really just them explaining to me like why like this is like that or like what this passage means and how I the different ways that I can interpret it and I can like kind of pick which way I think is the way to interpret stuff like that. But like what you said about one way where they are similar is that my wife is also like she grew up in the church like
yeah.
entirely, and yeah, I mean, she has like her family and friends are all very Christian, and she actually told me that she would not date someone that's not or marry someone I guess that's not Christian, and I don't have that even when I came of faith because I mean I feel like I want you to be Christian, I want you to be saved,
Sure.
but at the end of the day like it's okay like I don't I don't care what you do like I'm open to whatever like
Mm.
religion that you are, you know what I mean, because I came from a not Christian background too. So I didn't necessarily care, like, whatever, but then my wife did, and I was like, "Well, guess it works out because 'cause I'm Christian," like, and I just recently became Christian, like, a few years before we met, so, it's all perfect, yeah.
There you go.
Um,
I'm the same as that way too. Two of my really good friends from high school, they're not Christian whatsoever, and I've always told them because they're like, "Oh, does that bother you?" I was like, "It doesn't make a difference to me. You live your life how you want, and we'll be good. Do whatever you want." But yeah, it is funny because I think novels. I think she said she didn't care, but I think she did. I think she was just lying.
that's funny. Yeah, my closest friend, he's also not, Christian, and then it's like, this is gonna sound so bad, like, we, like so we went to university where they give, free food on,
Sure,
like, Tuesdays at a church. And then we would go there and then get free food. And then people would come and try to like converse and talk to us.
sure.
And then like we'll like make fun. We'd be like, "Can they leave? Like we're trying to eat our food, like do all this stuff." And like yeah, I feel really bad about it now. But yeah, I mean he's still like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he's not yeah, but like I mean we're like still best friends because I don't care if he's not of faith. It's yeah.
No, I totally get it. So now I have to ask because you talk about reading the same line and then not going in. I actually have that same exact problem. So I had an IEP when I was a kid, like an individual education plan. So like in the state of New Jersey, like it was basically a way for the school to get like additional funds and stuff because if kids have educational problems, which I did. Did you ever get like tested or anything for like reading comprehension?
I have not.
Oh, okay. Because I'm curious, because that was my issue in middle school. Because they're like, D20, you're really not like applying yourself and whatever. Like, I'm trying to read the book. Like, I'm trying. Like, none of it
Yeah.
makes sense and whatever. And I had to go through like all these additional classes to basically learn reading comprehension. And it's like novels can sit there and like kind of fly through a book. And I'm sitting there just like really have to focus on like a sentence at a time. And it's exhausting. She's like 40 pages deep. And I'm like, okay, I'm one page done.
Yeah, yeah, no, I mean, I'm saying we were really, really slow. For getting through like, high school and like college and everything, I like Spark Notes, like
Yeah.
everything. And it was basically like in college, it was basically about learning how your professor sets up their tests.
Hmm.
Because like everyone has like a format, and it's just about learning how to like kind of maneuver the system, I guess. So I don't know anything about like the actual like books or like whatever we're supposed to read, but it's about like just learning like if it's like a math class or something, like maybe like this concept, or like if it was like the worst. Oh man, I actually took a Bible class actually, because it's gonna be like a humble brag. I was like in the honors program, and we had to take a Bible's class or whatever, like a Bible study thing, and then I did not. I actually enjoyed it, but I didn't come to faith. I was just like, we're learning this to like try to like improve our philosophy.
Sure. Yeah.
So a lot of like weird like philosophy stuff, which I guess is applicable now that I think about it. But I did not. It did not like get to me into any type of like Christianity type of way, but I like enjoy learning about like the philosophy stuff, and I also sparked at the Bible there too because I could not read it. Um, but yeah, it's too late for me to get tested. I'm through. I'm done with school. There's no more. I don't have to
There
get
you go.
tested. Yeah,
Well,
I'm fine.
it's funny too because my theory in high school and college that was that professors and teachers won't fail you if they like you, and I don't know if it's actually true, but I would go to like their office hours and like converse with them and get to know them and all that fun stuff. And then I mean, I didn't fail anything, and I wasn't the smartest kid, so I feel like that kind of worked out.
Yeah, no, I mean, I have this one teacher, like she liked me a lot, but I just sucked at the class so bad,
Hmm.
and I think I failed. But at the very end, I ended up getting a C, in like for the class, and I was like, okay, like we're good, I guess. And I would also like go to her like after hours and like try to like learn, but I didn't learn because I just didn't get that subject at all. But yeah, I think college is about like exactly what you said, just kind of maneuvering
Yeah.
and trying to figure out what to yeah, because I don't maybe people actually do this, like some genius people. I can't do this, where they like learn all the material of like every class they take and actually like just understand it. Like I don't know if that actually exists, but yeah, my college experience is pretty much just like trying to coast by and get through it. Yeah.
That one of my best friends, he went to Ivy League school, and I would ask him too. I was like, "Can you like when you learn these things, like do you retain it?" And he's like, "Every single thing." I was like, "Man, like this is why you're an Ivy League. I cannot do that."
That's crazy. Yeah, yeah. No, I mean some people are just different, I guess. Yeah.
I don't get it, but whatever. I mean, to each their own and how they figure it out. So, um,
Yeah.
so kind of going back to Marvel Champions a little bit, with your channel. I want to talk a bit about your channel and how it got started. More importantly, why did it get started? Why did you decide to become a content creator and, you know, th- put yourself out there and get lots of positive comments, maybe negative comments, whatever it may be?
So I guess the first thing, so when I recorded my first game, I guess it was like leaving Splendor, not really leaving it, but like coming from Splendor. So after like we got married and everything, and we didn't hang with our friends because all of our friends came over to where we live to like play with us, and but they like I have some friends in Germany that came over out like in Carolina, so they all
Mhm.
left, and then I didn't have that type of like community where I play a bunch of board games with people for like a heavy stretch of time. So then I want something to really like go hard into, and I couldn't for Splendor because like there's like I just keep playing my wife I guess, but like I don't know, yeah. So like I like there's nothing for me to really like dive into,
Mhm.
and then Marvel Champions was that thing where I thought was a perfect balance between like I could still play casually, like it's a casual game because I can play with my wife or like friends, and then I could also like hardcore by myself. And I wanted something
Mm.
that I could like not only hardcore, but if I do it like that, I won't like leave everyone behind that want to play it casually, right? Like, because it's a co-op game, so even if they have like a pre-con deck, I can still have my like super like planned out constructed deck and like still have fun with them. So that's the main thing. So then like when I started posting videos, that was just kind of like building that hardcore type of thing. Like I'm gonna post videos of me playing, and I don't know. So like my first few videos, only my only subscriber was my friend from Carolina. And then every video had like one view or something like that for like months. And and then I watched so and I only play Spider-Man, by the way, also. I only play Spider-Man, Miles, and Gwen. So the three spiders, I guess. And then yeah, so I guess that's the reason, right? I just kind of played, and then I was like, I want to like have this outlet of like, I don't know, like a hardcore type of like thing, but then also not force my like wife and like friends into this. Like they can still just be casual, and then it's just like for me to like really obsess over, I guess.
And then, so when you got it, you're just like, okay, what's the hardest thing I can possibly do? All right, Venom Goblin Expert. I'm surprised you're not doing heroic at this point and just doing that, or like heroic two or something.
No, I mean, I can't do hero. I did with the Ebony Maw challenge
Okay.
because the weekly one shot challenge, and that's like a pseudo heroic challenge if you're playing on true solo because you get extra encounter card. Dude, that was like a 1 hour 20 minute game, and like I can't. Yeah, shouts to Stretch 22. He does like heroic challenges. I cannot. That's not my thing. I so people think I like this like okay when I play a game, I like so like for example in how many you play Kingdom Hearts?
Yep. Yep.
So like my favorite boss probably all time is the Sephiroth like secret
Yeah.
boss fight. Okay, that was so cool, right? So like I had so much fun playing that, and that gave me more reward than like any other boss fight in that game. So it's kind of like, but like I don't know, it's just like learning the mechanics because I would lose many times when I first played it. But then like as you get the mechanics down, I remember just like if I'm like having a rough day, like a middle school, I just be like, I'm gonna just play Sephiroth right now, and I just like face him. But yeah, so like it's kind of like that. And then I don't. So when I play a game, I want to be able to take down like the toughest thing.
Mm.
And then at the time, well, I still think now the toughest solo challenge. I think it's Expert Ronin. So Gaxum was one. It was the first boss that I got, and then I looked up online like strategy and stuff, and everyone's telling me that I could not beat him with Peter Parker Spider-Man, and they're saying that he's like a B tier hero and all this stuff. I didn't think to try it. It wasn't like I was like, okay, so I'm gonna play Miles. Then I bought Miles from Crazy Jackalope Games, like just the
Oh yeah.
the hero cards. Yeah, and then I like made a deck, and I was like, all I want to do is be able to beat Ronan with Miles, and then I'm gonna play casual with all my friends. These would be the only cards I have for this game. Just the toughest villain because I want to be able to like do that. I don't want to, I don't know if anyone else like has a type of like, I don't know, I don't know why. I just really wanted to beat Ronan. Yeah, so I beat him with Miles, and then I watched Death Cry Gaming, and he plays like Iron Man, like just some heroes that I've also read on like posts and stuff that say they cannot beat Ronin True Soul, that these are not good True Soul heroes. And he beat them, and he like built out in this like really cool way. And I was like, holy cow, this is amazing. And then I did the same thing for Peter Parker Spider-Man, and I was like, dude, like I don't know if people like some people know, some people don't know, but Peter Parker Spider-Man, like he can beat everyone on True Solo. Like you just gotta like build out like the way that Descry is doing it. And yeah, so then I started posting those games, and that's when I got the idea to post like on Reddit because a lot of people didn't or were saying that this wasn't possible. So then I got a lot of like feedback and people were like positive and negative, but I love having discussion with all the people. Like some people were telling me like I missed this, I could do this, and I was like, holy cow, like I'm missing all these mistakes. Like they're like yeah, and I don't know, it's so many things that I didn't understand about the game, but it was so much fun talking with people and like them kind of teaching me and like me taking pieces away or like even like them telling me how like it's really cool that I did that and that they also play the same deck and that it worked out for them. Like it was just very, very, I don't know, it's really fun and like engaging. And then I never thought that I would play any other hero that's not Spider. So I still only played Spider for like Spider characters for like months. And then it was only because people started asking me, can you play like a non-Spider? Like when are you gonna play a non-Spider? Can you play like someone that's not Spider-Man? And I was like, all right, all right, all right. I think it was like for I think it was I don't remember. Yeah, I was just like, okay, so I'll just play someone that's not Spider. And then it turned to whole thing and I was like, okay, this is actually really fun. I should play the other heroes. And then I just started playing like more heroes. And I was like, yeah, the heroes are really fun in this game.
So now do you look at like certain excuse me, Reddit posts or whatever, and when people say like, "Oh, so and so hero can't do X thing," do you sit there and go, I bet I could figure it out.
No, actually, the only I just want to do it with Spider-Man actually. I don't care about the other heroes. They can all yeah, the other heroes if they suck, they suck. It's okay. I don't need to do anything with them. I just want Peter Parker to get his just dues, I guess.
That's fair. I mean, and that's when I think I started noticing your channel because there is like Reddit can be a really good place, but there is serious groupthink a lot where people will say like XYZ cannot happen, and then it just kind of like trickles from there, right? Like I've always made this joke that like people are like I don't understand how Doctor Strange and Captain America be out of print, and it's like well because Reddit tells everyone that's the first hero or two heroes you should buy. So like naturally they're out of print. Like if they told them to buy Valkyrie as the first hero, she would be out of print and everyone would love her just like me and it would make sense and make the world happy, but that's not reality, I guess. So but yeah, no, I think it was really cool when I started finding your videos. I was like, oh, surely this guy can't actually do this, he's just a masochist. And then you start doing it, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, I want to give a huge shout out to you too because man, like I like, so I didn't expect, I don't know, I thought that was still crazy because you were pretty, like, you're like one of the biggest content creators. And then, I don't know where I saw it, but you you play one of my decks, but
Mhm.
also you like went to my channel too, and you like spoke highly of the
Mhm.
channel. And like I don't know how many subscribers I had, maybe like I don't know 200 something like that. It was like, and it was yeah, and then that like grew my channel. Like I don't know what, like I was like, what is going on? Because I don't think I knew until after it started growing, and I was like, how the hell like am I or I guess it's okay. I was gonna say excuse my language, but because we're both Christian. But no, yeah, yeah. So like I would just get like 20, 30 subs like per day. And I was like, what is going on right now? And then like I watched your stuff too, but I think it was on a stream or something like that. Yeah, but then I saw it eventually. And I was like, oh my goodness, like thank you, like yeah. So huge shots to D20 Woodwork. Like it just makes me feel like it's crazy that this community. And I used to love your red reply
Mm.
stuff. By the way, I don't know you plan on bringing that back, but that was like it just felt very engaging with the community. Like it felt crazy to see you reading like you know, us, like our like comments and stuff, and like you'd be like, okay, it's like this. Is I don't know, I don't know. It's something about that that's just like feels really cool. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's because I when I first started, right, with Nelson, so like Nelson and I kind of grew together at the same time. And before us, there was essentially Dale the Casual Gamer was like the big name, and that's it. Like I mean, and there was Marvel Champions Monthly, but they were kind of doing their own thing, whatever. There was a few other channels that were kind of just doing like their own little small thing, but Dale was obviously the pinnacle, and then he started just like stopped doing content. And then Tony Tails came up and he just shot out of nowhere, which was I love Tony. I love his content, but it was like as a content creator, it was incredibly frustrating because like Nelson and I are out there grinding at like 600, subs, and he's just like 0 to 2,000 in like a day. Like, I mean, just his stuff caught like wildfire, and it was worth it because it was top tier stuff. And then he left. Um, but anyway, I knew what it was like to be one of those smaller creators and have bigger ones around. And it's like if one of the things that's always annoyed me about the board game content creation space as a whole is that they don't support each other. Like it's very competitive, and I don't understand why. And there is a bigger creator out there that explained this on one of their videos or podcasts or something, whatever I was listening to. It's like, well, why would I support other channels? Because they're going to take viewership from me. And I never understood that theory that like, you as an individual or me as an individual only have 60 minutes of watch time, whatever. So where am I going to spend? Like, that's not how people are, right? People, if they want to watch stuff, they're going to watch you. They're going to watch me or they're going to watch somebody else. Like, so that's always bothered me about the board game space. So I always took it personally. Like, no, like if I ever get in the position where I can help smaller creators, like why wouldn't I? And then it encourages more creators, which encourages more people to come into the space, which encourages more viewers. And then we all grow and then everyone's happy. So it's really selfish is the reason I do it.
Nah, nah. I think yeah, no. I mean, honestly, like I like also like to shout out, a lot of the smaller channels. Like I recently played like a Wasp game. I shouted out Oh Bother Gaming for his deck
Hmm.
because he like, sent me that deck like a while back. I don't think he saw the video by the way, but I don't know. I like the thing that I do. It's because of you. Like I would not have like even thought to like. So I back when I first started, I only watched kind of the bigger channels
Yeah.
just because that was the only like that was the number one stuff that'll pop in my feed or whatever, right? But now like I really want to I enjoy watching like the smaller content creators and stuff like that too. And I would never have like shouted out like all these like and like done so many collabs and stuff, if it wasn't for you like doing that to me, like I feel like I just want to pay that back. And yeah, I mean, it's all credits to you, dude. Like if it's selfish, then I'm copying you and being selfish too. But yeah, I mean, I feel like that's like one of my favorite things about the Marvel Champs community, and it's probably because of you and Nelson that it's like this way. And shout out to Nelson too because he actually hit me up. So my first collab on YouTube ever was with Nelson
Mm.
for a your favorite hero. It was like, or who's the best hero? And now like I'll talk about Spider-Man. He actually hit me up like on Reddit, on a Reddit message or whatever. And I don't, man, I'm so bad because I downloaded Discord for this game. So I didn't have Discord like in this stuff before. So like he messaged me on Reddit and he was like, do you want to collab? Like I have like idea or something like that. And then I didn't see it for like months. I don't know how long, maybe like 3 months. And then at some point I was like, wait a minute, Reddit has messages. Like what is like so then I click on the thing, I was like, oh wait, what Nelson? Isn't that like the one of the biggest like you like Mario Champions people or whatever? And then he said, yeah, I was like, oh yeah. And I was like, dude, I'm so sorry, I didn't see your message. Yeah, yeah, it's yeah, so there's just so many different platforms and I just can't keep up with all the stuff because it's like yeah, I usually see if someone like tags me, but they don't. Like I just I'm not good at technology. As you've seen with our collabs, I can't. Yeah, I record everything on my phone. So that's yeah.
Which is still like amazing to me because so this is the other thing that's interesting, I think fascinating about you, in the most positive ways, because people will see my setup, right? And you could kind of if you're watching the video this, you can see the top camera, like the camera I'm using, the microphone I'm using, like it's expensive stuff, right? And people go, oh, in order to be like D20 size, like I need to invest all this money and whatever. And then you come in and you're recording stuff on your phone and it's fantastic, right? Because it's not about what equipment you use. Sure, it makes it look a little bit better or whatever, but like if the quality is not there and the content's not there, the rest of it's just window dressing, right? So that's what I think was one of the coolest things about yours, that I would highly encourage any small content creator that thinks like, hey, I need to have all this stuff. No, you do not. Like watch Web-Warrior. Like it is amazing what you have done. And it blows my mind to this day that you have been able to do that.
That's the biggest insult ever. I have an iPhone 13 mini. This is like very pristine technology right here. So it's very top quality, high end. No, yeah, I'm just kidding. Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean honestly, I really want to get a set, and like it make like I'm very envious, and it's not good. I'm working on that. Because I really like your setup. Darren Lang setup too is like
Mm,
very very good, and I was talking to my wife about it the other day. It makes me so sad because I don't we live in an apartment and it's a pretty small like space area.
sure.
And basically I play on like our coffee table where we eat. And every single time I want to play a game, I have to like clean up like the eating mats. I don't know what those are called. I just like put them away. I
Yeah.
put in the stuff and after every game I have to like pack everything up. And I just hate packing. Oh my goodness, packing up is like the worst. I just want like a table, just leave my mess, I guess. That would be but yeah, I mean, no, I mean, yeah, to anyone out there, yeah, you guys can it just I would say I don't know. Um, for me, I thought that my channel would be for Spider-Man only. Like I literally
Mm,
planned. I was like, the whole entire channel is gonna be Spider-Man. So that was kind of like I thought that like I never thought I would like get to like 1,000 subscribers. I was just like I'm just gonna post all these Spider-Man stuff because whenever I was playing, whenever I wasn't making content, I was looking up Spider-Man playthroughs. I was
right.
trying to find people. I enjoy watching people play my hero, like the hero that I liked, and I wanted to learn how to play it better. And then there just wasn't a lot out there. Like I watched every single one. I watched all like Nelson's. He has like all four aspects of Spider-Man. I watched
Okay.
all your Spider-Man. So I watched everyone's Peter Parker games. And I was like, there needs to be more. Like, why isn't there more? And I'll like Google like D20 woodworking Spider-Man. I was like, I've seen this one, I've seen this one, I've seen this one. Like, there's no more. Like, where are all the Spider-Man stuff? So I was like, I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna put the Spider-Man stuff so that everyone will have the Spider-Man. If you like Spider-Man, you can watch my stuff. And then yeah, so I guess like I don't know. I feel like if you make content that you enjoy watching or that you wish that was out there, then like I think that would be the biggest thing. Like that would be my advice, I guess, because I was just making stuff that I want to see personally. And yeah, that's kind of what happened with that. And shout out to Tony Tales too. I don't know anything about him. I still have never seen a Tony Tales video. I think I've commented that on your stream before.
Yeah.
I want to see like any of his videos, so I can just copy it and then like pop off, right? Because I have no clue like what his videos are like at all. Yeah, there's a Desk Ride video where he reacts to Tony Taylor or something like that,
Okay.
but he doesn't play the video.
Oh
Like
no.
it's not played in a way to where so I'm like, man, I still have never seen the video. Like why? no one downloaded this? I'm sure, like, it's internet, right? It's just all gone. Like, can someone? This guy feels like some like living legend. Like he's just not like there's no trace of his existence. I guess. Yeah, yeah. So I was just like, yeah. I remember looking this up one day too. I was like, I'm sure someone has a video like re-upload or something, right? And it's nowhere to
Can't
be
find it.
found.
No,
So I have no.
it's actually a conspiracy all the older content creators have. We made up Tony Tales. Doesn't exist. We all just agreed to make up this guy and just yeah, he might come back, he might not, who knows.
I knew it. I knew it. I absolutely knew it.
I had somebody message me or it was in comments or something like that for chat that was just talking about how like how insane was the Tony Tail setup? Was it like the most amazing thing? I was like, bro, it was a PowerPoint presentation. Like it was the most he rarely had a face cam on. It was the most basic of basic setups, but he was like the amount he would dive into like a card was mind blowing. Like and just like how it worked with this and it would work with this and you go to that and like he could spend like 50 videos on like one hero pack because it's like okay now you take follow through and you might think it's not a good card but actually you could do and then blah, 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 I just do all this stuff. I was like I would never think of that and that's what it was like watching his videos. It was crazy.
Nice. Yeah, I think I know Villain Theory said that he's also very inspired by Tony Tales. So I think that's like the closest thing that we got nowadays of like a Tony. Like, yeah, I love Villain Theory's like analysis stuff. He goes
Yep.
very like in depth into cards as well. So that's kind of what I imagine is kind
Yeah.
of like it. But yeah, I don't know if it's yeah the exact thing or not.
It's pretty similar. And the problem is now, even for me, it's like I kind of forget exactly what Tony would talk about. But Villain Theory, I would argue, is pretty much the closest. And I got to reach back out to Tony because he's still on Discord now and again. You can find him sometimes. And I got to message him because I know he just unlisted everything. So I know it exists out there on the
Oh,
YouTube
snap.
server. So he could just go public one day again and just all of a sudden Tony Taylor stuff everywhere, which would be hilarious.
Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna be like, hey, can you send me your video?
Yeah,
I want
right.
to check.
So yeah, but yeah, no, it was crazy. But I do agree with you with the concept of make things that you like because I feel like a lot of content creators will what they'll see especially is they'll see like Nelson do something or me do something and they go, okay, I have to do the thing they're doing to be successful. And like that's not it at all. We're just I mean like my best videos are things that like I would never recommend anyone to try when I do like chat versus D20, right? Like it's a lot of work. It's exhausting. It's a lot to keep up with. Like, I would never recommend that to anyone. But if you really want to do it, really want to get into it, then yeah, sure, like try it. But it's a lot. But you don't need to do that to be successful in this space.
Yeah, those are super duper fun, by the way.
Yeah, they're good. I need to do more of them. I think I'm going to start doing more of them. But yeah, it's just like it's one of those weird things because chat is just relentless, dude, and they will just like smear me and they just have no they're like good I'm
Yeah.
happy you lost. I'm like come on guys like give me a break. They're like no.
Yeah, I feel like you have a great balance on your channel of like I don't know how to describe it. It's like hate, but it's like banter hate. So
Yeah.
it's like yeah, you suck D20, but they're like actually like love you.
Mhm.
So like I feel like that's a good I don't know if I can like master that type of sarcasm.
Mm.
But yeah, it's just very like I feel that's very good because then you can just speak your mind and be very chill, and then your chat's very chill as well, and just a very like I don't know, it's just a nice wholesome like type of like yeah, I always ask my wife like when we're eating dinner. I was like, we're like looking for stuff to watch. I'm like, can we watch like D20 novels? She's like, no, I want to watch a show. And I was like,
And you're like, this is the show.
yeah, this is a show. It's like a nice like they're gonna do I don't know, yeah, yeah, but I
But
feel it's very good. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, well, it's funny too because there's I watch a lot of live streams in the video game space, and somebody made this comment with dealing with chat is that there's two ways to direct chat. You can either have them love you and treat you as a god, or you can have them hate you. And the latter of having them hate you is a lot more fun because you could just like kind of play off each other and becomes like a better thing. And that's why I've always went that route. Just like no, we're gonna have fun competing against each other, and make us into like just a fun competition, right? Good, healthy competition.
awesome.
One of the things I want to ask you too. So with your channel, you started doing more review type stuff, which is really cool. Because I guess just your general reviews when you start doing like the check mark boxes, and I love the visual to it because I'm a very visual person, so I'd like to do that. Have you enjoyed doing those type of reviews, or do you like just doing the playthroughs more?
Okay, so I have a love-hate relationship with the reviews. Um, so if it's like a new hero, I'm so hyped doing those
Mm,
reviews because I'm like hyped on that hero at the time. But then like there's other like man, like like so. I did like a thing where I asked like the members on my channel like what heroes they want to see, and then they will like list one, and I would do the review for that hero. So I think I recently did one for Miles. It was a while back, but like it's just because I don't right now. I'm not hyped on Miles. Like so I'm not thinking of him.
Mhm.
So wait, that was it I don't remember what it was, but it was like some hero, and then I was like, okay, I gotta make this review for it. But then like it's because I'm not particularly hyped on the hero, so it's harder for me to like have fun doing it, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just like Magneto. I'm gonna like do multiple because like I don't know, I'm just super hyped on Magneto. But like it just depends. Like I guess if it's a new hero, I'm really interested in it, so it's really easy for me to like make the review on. But then I have less fun if it's like some random, which is why like I still haven't finished playing every single hero in the game. Because
Mm.
like why I'm gonna go back and play like I don't know Wasp. I just played her, but why am I go back and play her whenever like Magneto's here? And I just play every game Magneto, Magneto, Magneto. Like I don't, yeah. So yeah, it's kind of just yeah, it's like a balance, I guess. But I want to have like the diversity on my channel.
Mhm.
Because I know that there are people out there that like a specific like obscure hero. To me, but it's like the best hero to them. So I do want to have that for them. But hopefully I can like get hyped for that hero whenever I do it. That would be like the funnest way to do it.
Yeah, it's funny too because like there's some heroes I go back like Miss Marvel. I went back to do Miss Marvel and it was fun and whatnot, but I realized a lot of people don't like Miss Marvel. So like the views are like terrible, and you're just like, ugh,
Mm.
that stinks. But I still like her, so it becomes like this weird balancing act as a content creator. It's like you quote unquote can't always play what you want, and I know people are like, no, yes you can. It's like, well, no, you can't. If you want to play the game of content creation, then you have to kind of like do what people want to do and whatnot, and that is one of like the downsides of things for sure.
Yeah, no, I mean it's the exact same thing, and I think that you'll enjoy this. So, one of my channel members, like, he had like a requesting for Deadpool. So I
Okay.
recently did a Deadpool game. It was like, the worst in terms of like views like ever. So I guess your hatred for Deadpool and all the other people's hatred of Deadpool is like shown up there. But I actually really enjoyed playing that. It was a really fun game with Deadpool. But yeah, I guess not a lot of people like Deadpool, or like maybe they're sick of like the Deadpool like rush style, just like ending the game quickly and stuff like that. I did want to ask you though, that's really interesting that you brought up about Miss Marvel. So it's weird, not just like obviously you have different opinions on her and I have different opinions on her as well, right? But it's weird that the community perception on like who we talk to is also very different because I'm under the impression that people love Miss Marvel.
I
So
was too.
but
Yeah.
but you're saying because the video didn't do well, they maybe didn't? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're just saying. Yeah, yeah, okay, okay, gotcha. Yes, because I thought that. So I also did a Miss Marvel playthrough recently, and people wanted me to. I like a members poll thing, and then they voted for protection. So I played her in protection, and I didn't want to play her in protection because I want to play her in justice or aggression because like her events, right? I don't know. I just
Yeah.
didn't want to do. So I like thought like the most like weird protection deck. It was just literally just basic, the basic cards. So not really protection and like four protection cards. There's like three energy bears and like pinpoint the green ally. And I put it in and I played it and then it was okay. It's not my favorite game. I'm not the biggest fan on Miss Marvel. But then the comments, everyone was like loving it. They're like, Miss Marvel's so good. Ah, Miss Marvel. And I was like, man, what? Like, yeah, it was just like overwhelming like Miss Marvel love, I guess. And in protection too. And I was like, that's because people voted for that. So I guess they
Yeah.
want to see her in protection. I don't know. And then I recently saw Villain Theory. Like one of his videos, he says like, I know people love Ms. Marvel in protection. And I was like, they do. Like, why? And
Yeah.
he specifically said, but I don't really like her in protection either. And I was like, okay, yeah, me too. Like, I vibe with this video. But yeah, I just yeah, it's weird how I guess what we think may be true may not be the perception, I guess. Because, like, for example, the Doctor Strange 25 blank card thing, and I
Mhm.
got like tons of hate for that. But I saw that everywhere, like on Reddit, like on Facebook. And then whenever I post a video about it, so many comments were like, I've never seen this before. Like, did you just make this up just to like play with Doctor Strange with 25 blanks to like lose? Because I've never heard of this challenge. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, oh my god, like I think we're in like different parts of the community. And
Yeah.
it's just so weird knowing what the perception is from my side and someone else has never heard like things that I thought were very popular. Maybe they aren't. Yeah, I mean stuff like that is. I feel I need to get more knowledgeable and stuff like that for content creation.
Yeah, so the problem with it, so this is a part of the reason why I left Reddit, and I still like hang out and talk now and again. But why I stopped doing the Reddit replies is because Reddit, like what in my mind, and this is just my perception on things, Reddit when I first started was like what Reddit was, which was just a website where you brought in a bunch of webs or other websites or YouTube videos or whatever, and you discuss that thing. And over the past few years, Reddit as a whole has kind of changed to no, we only want original ideas on here that we can discuss, which is fine. If that's what the community wants, that's what they can do. But I think because of that, it's changed how it works for content creation. And like once I started getting like a ton of hate for doing Reddit replies, and it wasn't even a ton. It was probably just like a small group of people, but very loud small group of people. And I was like, why am I doing this? Like, I don't need these views just to like receive like hate on things. Like, I got better things to do in my life. So that's why that kind of stopped. But I it's funny with a 25 card blank thing because like I'm watching the video and going, yeah, like people talk about this all the time that like you can do this. And when I saw those comments, when people are like, no one's ever said this, like, yes, they have. This is absolutely a thing that's been said on the internet that he's so strong he can play with a blank deck. And I thought it was cool. And the thing is too, like, I wish people could just appreciate for the cool thing it is, because it's kind of cool to just try Marvel Champions challenges that are different, right? Even if you have to bend the rules a little bit, like it's something different, it's something unique, something no one's ever seen before. And I think that's worth like encouraging and worth applauding.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, and then I remember like you said this in one of your streams or maybe like a video. You're saying that the moment that you post like a comment on Reddit, you just see it get downvoted.
Yeah,
Dude, that's happened to me. Like I don't know. I think it's I don't it didn't happen before. Like it used to be good. It used to be like all positivity and like I just really enjoy like talking with everybody.
sure. Yeah.
And then now it's not even a post. Like it will just be like someone will ask a question and I'll be it'd be like it would be like a rules question. Like, can I do this? And I know the specific ruling, so I'll just be like, yes, like that works. And then like the moment that I post it, it's like I was like, "What? What happened? Like, is it the wrong ruling?" And I'll like check. I'll double second guess myself.
Mhm.
And I'll be like, "Is that the right ruling? Like, what's going on?" And it is right. And I'm like, "What the heck happened?" Like, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So stuff like that is pretty discouraging. I would say, and it's I don't know. I still think so. I still love community.
Mhm.
I made a video before where I talked about how like this is the best community.
Mhm.
Um, it still is. It still is. I'm not as high on it as like the people that are in, I guess, my channel and my community, I still love and I still think
Yeah.
that they're the best people. But I think that Reddit, in particular, and like Discord too, a lot of it is
It's changed. It's
makes the
changed over the
community.
time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, yeah. That's a good way to word it. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I really, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, and that's what I slowly did over the past, like, probably year or so, is I was like, I don't need to go out to these other communities, like, because growth, do I want to happen? Yeah, absolutely, and is Reddit a shortcut for that? Well, it can be at times. But I know my community, like 99% of it's super positive. So just I will consolidate here. And I know like you have a great community, so I have no problem interacting with that. And Villains and Nelson's. It's like, then why am I going out to like places that just don't work for me? Maybe they work for other people and it's totally cool. But like for me personally, it's like, why would I subjugate myself to that? Like it makes no sense. And the same with Facebook too. I popped in there for a while and there's a lot of good stuff, but there's definitely a handful of people that are just like, it's my way or the highway. Like this is like the correct way to think about things. I was like, wow, they're very aggressive over here. And like maybe some people like that and whatever, and that's fine. But I was like, oh, it's not for me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, yeah, Marvel Champions is, I would say it's the game of like different perspectives. Like, there's no
Yeah.
other game that I played like this where it's like, oh, I think Miss Marvel sucks. She's the worst hero. And it's like, no, she's my favorite hero. She's the best hero. Like, she's
Mhm.
awesome. Like, yeah, it's, it's crazy that to me that anyone can say something like so definitive about Marvel
Yeah.
Champions, like about like a specific thing, and it's like you're wrong for like disagreeing. And I'm like, what? Like it's Marvel Champions, man. Like it's a game where there's like the most like differences in opinion, I guess. I don't know. Because like playing like other card games, I feel like Marvel Champions is maybe it's because it's co-op, but the lines that you can do like per turn
Mhm.
like differs so much more than any game that I play. Like we can we can we can still meet the same result of like removing 3 threat in a turn and doing 2 damage, but you can do like way different things than me to get the exact same 3 threat removed and like that same 2 damage. Like it's crazy. I don't know. Yeah, I just feel like it's I don't yeah.
Yeah, people are very strong with their opinions, and I get it too. I have strong opinions, and obviously, Strange is terrible, and no one should ever play him and whatnot. And I get hate for saying that, and I get it because that's some people's favorite heroes and stuff. But you're right; it's interesting when like, I mean, before you, and this is what I think is the most fascinating thing. So before you, with again Spider-Man, people were like, no, Spider-Man's trash, not good, and you come along and you're like, no, this is different. And then now you've done it with Cable, which I thought was phenomenal because before you everyone was like, yeah, Cable's good, right? Cable's pretty solid. Everyone kind of agreed on that. And then you're like, no, no, no. He's S tier, and I'm going to prove why. And then you did it. And like, even when I first saw that video, I was like, no, he's not that good. And I'm watching you play. I was like, holy cow. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy. I want to give huge shout outs to Daring Lion for that too.
Mhm.
So I played a cable game with him, like a two-player game, like on his stream, and then afterwards we talk a little about the game, and then he was just talking to me about Cable, and I was like, yeah, Cable is so strong, Cable is all that, like, da da da, and he was like, yeah, I think he is like really strong. Like, where would you put him? Do you think he's like a top here, like the strongest here, like da da da? Because he already knew that I thought that Dark Strange was overrated.
Yeah,
So he was like asking that, and I was like. Yeah, yeah, I think I kind of do. I think I kind of do. Yeah, and then like months later, I like attempted that Ronin Expert 2 challenge. But yeah, I mean it's yeah, yeah. I had something else to say about what you just said, but I forgot. Dang it. Never mind.
it'll come back. If it comes back, just interrupt me and we'll be good. Um, One of the other things too you do now is do you still do a lot of Lorcana? Because I pop in now and again, and I don't know if I've seen it recently. Do you still put it up?
So there was a time where all my friends were playing Lorcana,
Hmm.
and all I wanted to do was play Lorcana. So then I would like post Lorcana videos, and
Yeah.
then it would be like back-to-back Lorcana videos, like in the same day too. And then I'll be like, okay, but I need to do a Marvel Champions like also like this week or something like that. Right now it's kind of flipped around because
Okay.
the releases have been coming in for Marvel Champions. So I'm just not really feeling like I want to play Lorcana right now. I guess so. That's kind of the reason I haven't been posting it, just because I don't know, like right now if I have time to play something, I want to play some Marvel Champions. So it's
Mm.
really just kind of like this phase of like me wanting to play Marvel Champions, and I think I have like one or two Lorcana games that I have recorded but I didn't edit it yet.
Okay.
I don't think I post them anymore because Set 6 is coming out. So those are like
Mm.
old Set 5 games. Like no one wants to see that anymore. I don't know. Like, and I don't even want to edit it anymore because it's like it's Set 5, dude. Yeah. So I guess just whatever. I'll definitely hop back. If Mario Champions does not release anything for like 3 months, and I'm like, okay, I want to like play something.
We'll have to get back to it too, because I know we were playing a little bit, and then I want to play again, and then it just life got in the way. But once you're right, once Marvel Champions dies down a little bit, then we'll have December and January basically all open.
Yeah.
All right, so last thing I want to talk to you about, Marvel Champions, Agents of Shield coming out. Are you hyped? Are you excited? Are you one of the hype people? Are you one of the people that's not hyped? What are your feelings?
I am hyped. I'm not gonna say I'm hyped for Agents of Shield. I'm excited for anything Marvel Champions,
That's
and
fair.
I'm very excited that there's yeah, just stuff coming out. Um, and yeah, I don't so what were we talking I want Nick Fury.
Hmm.
I don't. So I was talking to Villain Theory about this too, but for Maria Hill, I want her to be like two thwart, one attack, one defense, and just really, really weak. But I feel like she's gonna be really strong because from like Next Evolution and like a lot of the more recent heroes, they're a little bit more streamlined and more
Yeah.
powerful. And I want her to feel weak, man. I want her to like be a human because like she doesn't have powers. So like if she's stronger than like I don't know, like X hero that like has powers, you know what I mean? I'd be like, what's going on? I just want, I don't know. Yeah, I wish that it was more superhero type heroes. And I don't know what version of Nick Fury they're gonna use.
Mm.
I don't know if you talked about that on stream before. So like from what I know from the comics, I think that the Nick Fury that we have the silhouette for, he's from the Ultimate comics and he's a super soldier.
Huh.
So is he gonna? But then like the one that we know from MCU, where Samuel L. Jackson plays him, or whatever, like that guy does not have superpowers. So like,
Right.
is he gonna have powers or not? Because I would want the super soldier version of that, but I don't know.
That is interesting with Maria Hill. I hadn't really thought about that, but that's a good point. And it's funny too because like Hawkeye, I don't really like that much, but there are other heroes that are more human-ish. That's like no, it's good. Like Black Widow, right? Like is kind of like a regular human being, and I love her design. So It'll be interesting because they are definitely, I think the heroes are definitely, generally speaking, stronger ish, but, or I guess more streamlined makes more sense too. Um, and they're going to kind of continue that trend. And I just hope that with this cycle, they spend a lot of time not fixing old heroes, but just giving them more options, right? I just want more options for the older heroes. So,
Yeah, like if Shuri is one of the like new heroes, I'm super excited for Wakandan
yeah.
support for Black Panther. Like I was just talking to this one of my friends about Shuri. I'm hoping that she's really weak, but the Wakandan supports are really strong, and then
Okay.
just keep all the Wakandan heroes like weak, but then their supports are like really good and they power them up. Because I don't want it to be like, because if you give like amazing supports, that'll make Black Panther really good. But then she would be like just insanely powerful, right? If she's
Yeah.
already has a strong kit plus the supports. So I'm hoping that like she just kind of sucks, but the supports are really good. I just want balance. You know that I love the no power creep
Mhm.
type of game in Marvel Champions. So I'm hoping that they can keep that up for a really long time because that'll be really cool.
Yeah, I have a gut feeling they will. Though I worry with like assuming the last one's Winter Soldier and or the last one being Sam for Falcon, right? Like I feel like those two they'll probably make pretty powerful, and I'm hoping that like gets it out of their system that like okay, we're allowed to go crazy for these two, but these four are going to be like normal humans, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like more Hawkeyes. I hate Hawkeye, but more Hawkeyes.
No, exactly. And I do wonder too, like if they recognize as a group that like, hey, we're getting kind of crazy with this. Like we need to either level out or yeah, we bring it back down. And I don't even think people would be mad at like quote unquote weaker heroes coming out because they'll be like, okay, this is just a different way of playing. Like we don't need to keep getting stronger and stronger and stronger.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Oh, I just remember what I was gonna say.
Yes.
Sorry, can we hop back real quick?
Hmm.
So you said, yeah, yeah. So you commented on my video where I played She-Hulk with only core set cards and the pool aspect. And I don't know if you watched like my buyer's guide, but I really recommend people buy the Deadpool Hero Pack because my best friend only has that in the core set. He has a lot of fun. And then when and I talked to someone else that's like their first like thing was a Deadpool Hero Pack with the core set,
Okay.
and they like dove like complete into Marvel Champions, and they had a lot of fun doing that. And pool is their favorite aspect. And shouts to Ritzy Rios. But yeah, yeah. So like you commented on that, and you're like, and I know you're the biggest hater of pool and Deadpool. You absolutely hate both, like not just one or the other.
Yep.
But yeah, and then and you commented like this is a really like good perspective. Like it's very interesting, and like that's I feel like that is what I thought or what I want the community to be. I'll say
Mm.
that like what I thought the community was for Marvel Champions was that you can hate something and still be open to that other people may like it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like that's just kind of what it is, and it's crazy because that Deadpool video, or sorry, the buyer's guide to that, I didn't even put anything about Deadpool or Pool in the title or like in the thumbnail. There's nothing about Deadpool, like anything about that. It's so you wouldn't even know that Deadpool is the first hero pack that I recommend you buy if you play
Mm.
Marvel Champions. So many people are like, "You're being clickbait. Like you're clickbaiting me. You're like like this is bad advice." So I was like, "You don't even know that Deadpool is a thing. Like I don't. How is it clickbait? There's nothing in there about Deadpool." Yeah. So I don't know. Like that. But yeah, what you did, that's what I like the kind of just openness, I guess. I don't know. I feel like I want to have discussion and like if you disagree, like tell me why. You know what I mean? Because like
Yeah.
maybe you change, like, there's so many things that I've changed my mind on because people are talking about it and you're like, I don't think you're seeing this clearly, like check this out, whatever. And then I will like understand and come to a deeper understanding of that and be like, okay, you know what? That's not right what I said then. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the community is different a little bit. And
I
I don't know.
I am a
And
firm believer of diversity of opinions and diversity of people in the games, and the only way you spread that is by allowing people to express their opinions and get it out there and not judge them. And so I'm a firm believer of that. And like when I watched that video, I was like, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't do that, but if it works for someone else and it gets them into the game, isn't that the goal we all have? You know what I mean? Like that should be the common goal for everybody. So it's cool. Like if that's what works for people and you obviously have firsthand experience of that working, then it works, right? Like I can't sit there and say like, well, that would never work, Web Warrior, like, but it did, so that's to me what's always like frustrating is people will jump on people's backs about that stuff, and it's just like it's happened in a bunch of my videos too. We're like, oh, this would never happen. Well, it has happened, and there's people that have commented that it's happened, so I promise you it's happened. And like, not just lying about it for fun. But with the clickbait thing, I think that's always funny. Somebody really got mad at me, and I don't know if it's I think it's the same person nowadays, because we talk about this with downvoting. There's somebody that goes through every single one of my videos and down thumbs every single video. So this podcast will be downvoted by one person at least. But the one person will do it right away. They're very, very quick. I think they have the alerts on. So thank you. I really appreciate the support, and get my video out to more people. But one of these people originally commented on my first Doctor Strange video where I tiered ranked him near the bottom, and I put on the thumbnail Doctor Strange arrow bottom, and they're like, oh, this is clickbait. I was like, you should probably watch that video because that ain't clickbait. And they're like, well, you put him on the bottom and you put him as a thumbnail. I was like, then that was promises made and promises kept. Like, I did the thing that the thumbnail said. That's not clickbait.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Oh man, that's crazy. Like, so all my thumbnails, they're actually like that's what the video is. Like I
Yeah.
don't, and then I literally told people that too, where they say like you're being clickbait because of the thumbnail, and I'd be like, that's what I say in the video. Like I literally think this is like a true factual statement. Like that thumbnail is representing what the video is about. So
Mm.
like I'm not misleading you in any type of way. And then people have told me you don't understand what clickbait is, and I was like, I don't like, and I googled it. I was like, no, no, no,
That
that's
is
what
what I think it is.
I'm not that's what clickbait is, right? Like so I stand by every one of my thumbnails and titles because that's what the video is
Yeah.
about. Yeah, yeah. So that's crazy that you said that. And I have the I'm not gonna say the exact same person, but maybe I don't know the exact like same person. All my videos like insta dislike, and I'm like, man, like how do you get here so fast, dude?
It's
Like
impressive, right?
it'll be like you know what's crazy? Some of my Lorcana videos, dude, it's nothing to do with Mario Champions, right? Like, cause like it's probably like a Mario Champions dude that's like disliking it, right? So it'd be like a random Lorcana video where I'm like, ah, I'm playing Lorcana, and it'd be like dislike. I'd be like, what? Like, are you the guy, or is it like a Lorcana guy? I have no
Mm,
clue. But yeah, I'm just like, man, yeah, it's crazy. So I have a conspiracy theory. I don't know if you. So I truly believe there's like a group, and maybe it's like a Discord group or like
mm,
a like text message. I don't know. There's some sort of group out there that like hates on content creators,
mm,
and then like I think no, I honestly think this because there's people that have commented. Okay, so basically the conspiracy theory is that I think that they hate on content creators, and then whenever like one of us posts a video, and then like this person hates me the most or this person hates you the most, they'll like send the video and then they'll be like, let's like hate and like
mm,
troll them or something like that. And the reason why I think this is because I had so many people that used to be like my friends or like fans of the channel, and they would say stuff like, "Dude, I love your stuff," like da da da, like I love your stuff, and then they like completely switched around. I don't know
mm.
why. And like they would just like troll me like massively and like I don't know, just comment negative things. And then I've seen one time where like if I click on like the thing, it's like a long thing of like finding it, but they're like in cahoots with like a well-known hater of mine. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what? So like it was like a friend and then someone that like hated me, and then like they like became friends, and the guy hating me convinced the other guy to hate me too. And I was like, man, like that sucks. But yeah.
It is I don't disagree with your conspiracy theory. I think it's just out in the open because there's certain discords they think I'm not a part of, and I'll see it and I just won't comment on it, so they don't know that I'm there. And I'm like, I know who it is, and I see who they
Yeah.
interact with, and I was like, okay, this is what it is. And it's like, you know what? Whatever. Like, that's what I've come to nowadays. It's just like, if you're gonna hate on me, cool. Thanks for clicking on the video and increasing my click through rate, and thanks for watching a little bit to hit the downvote, because all YouTube cares about is interaction. They don't care if it's up or down. They're gonna push out that video if people are interacting with it, and that's what they don't realize. So, oh well, oh well.
We're telling them right now, so now they'll all know.
That's fine. They can know. They. I think they know that I know that they know that I think it's just gotten to that point, just what people are. But I mean, and again, I've always approached it that there's always gonna be a couple people that hate things, and you just move on past those people. It's just, I know that there's so many positive people out there that's like they just drown out these few negative ones, and it's just like, haters gonna hate, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like you have a really good handle on I don't know, it just feels like you have a good I don't know, like a good balance of like or like not maybe not balance, but like the word is kind of like just like your comfort. You're comfortable with like the hate,
Mm,
and you're just like I know it's there, and you kind of pass it. I don't think I'm there yet, and it's hard because I'm always thinking about like all the positive, like just what you're
Sure.
saying too, right? Like the community is still way more overwhelmingly positive than negative, and I always try to pay more attention to positivity and talk more, engage more with the positive comments and the positive people, on the channel. But man, like I'm just trying like my best to like not like ignore the hate and stuff, but it's hard, man. I don't know. I don't know how you do it, but it's some tough it's tough stuff.
All right, I'll end on this. On this is the secret, or at least this was the secret for me. Is a lot of people will say like, oh, you just like ignore it and whatever, and it's hard to because biologically we're trained for fight and flight, right? Like we pay attention to danger. It's the same exact reason why if you get 10,000 positive comments and one negative, you perceive that as danger and something that's threatening to you, and you immediately in your head amplify it because again, your instincts are fight and flight. That's how your body works. So once you acknowledge that, like, okay, my body's triggering this because it like it riles me up and my body wants to like do something about it. Once you like understand that, like I feel like then I can control over my body. Like, okay, this is why I'm feeling this way. This is why I'm doing this way. Now I can move on from this thing and then just ignore it. And then I probably shouldn't say this, but oh well. After 24 hours of any comments on my videos, I stop reading them. Like, so the first 24 hours, I feel like is when most people that like my stuff or are critical but are willing to put thought into like being critical will comment on my videos and y'all like and heart all of it. But after 24 hours is when like people that are just like casual people or don't understand what I'm talking about or just like don't care to understand will put like the real negative stuff. I'm just skipping it. Like I don't even read those comments anymore because it's just not worth my time. So spoilers to anyone that's commenting after 24 hours. I'm sorry. I'm probably not reading it.
That's why you don't respond to so many of my comments because it's after 24. Oh
Yeah.
man.
And it's not because I hate you. It's just because like it just falls into an abyss of it's after 24 hours. I'm not paying attention to it. Like,
Yeah, no, I think you should definitely edit that out, man. That's not good because then like no one's gonna comment after 24 hours. They'll be like D20 is not reading it.
that's
That's
fine. That's fine. It's for my mental health. And I just need to do it. So it's just what it is.
yeah, no, that's some good tips.
Yeah. All right, dude. I gotta go to the bus stop and pick up my son soon. But I
Right. Yeah.
appreciate you. I appreciate you doing this. Really quick before you leave, where can people find you? Even though we've talked about this the whole time.
I am on YouTube, Web-Warrior Fanatic. That's Web-Warrior space Fanatic. And yeah, that is my YouTube channel. I think that's the only place you can find me.
That's the only place they need to find you. It's amazing gameplay, and everyone should be there all the time to go check it out. But I do
Thank you.
appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, D20. I appreciate it a lot.